Since the terrible movie Battle of Gods got released, I have been skeptical for the future of Dragon Ball. The reason for that is described in my rant about Battle of Gods in the discussion how I predicted Dragon Ball Super to suck, with one of my criticism being the power creep being enlarged. Indeed, the rumors of another Dragon Ball series were true. Not only did we get a new movie, it was introducing a new recolor form, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which in series received the name Super Saiyan Blue. Prior to that, Toriyama made the following statement in a Q&A. He was asked two questions. Number 1, compared to Beerus, God of Destruction, how strong is Super Saiyan God? And number 2. Will Goku be able to transform into Super Saiyan God in the future? He answered the following. To number 1. I suppose if Beerus' strength is a 10, Super Saiyan God would be right about 6. Only, Saiyans rapidly increase in strength as they fight against strong opponents, so the longer they fought, the more that gap would shrink, and it might even be possible for them to eventually turn the tables. Incidentally, I guess Whis would be about a 15. To number 2. I think you'll understand if you watch the movie, but Goku has already absorbed Super Saiyan God's power and made it his own, so there is no need for him to transform into Super Saiyan God. Goku basically only thinks of fighting as a sporting match, so borrowing the power of 5 people isn't fair, and he resisted doing that. However, it seems his curiosity towards the realm that lay even further beyond him won out. We will get to number 1 later. Number 2 is interesting because that would imply Blue isn't a new form. It's Goku using Super Saiyan to tap into Super Saiyan God without turning Super Saiyan God. We have seen during the movie, Goku kept up with Bills without a major power loss despite just having Super Saiyan. It would explain why Gohan got nerfed to use his Super Saiyan 1 form and Goku directly jumped to Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue was likely intended to completely replace Super Saiyan 1 for Vegeta, and Goku, like mastered Super Saiyan, completely replaced Super Saiyan 1. It's not a form beyond Super Saiyan like 2 or 3. At least that's what was sold to us. And they wanted to keep at least one adult character around that can turn into classic Super Saiyan. Another thing was that Bills wasn't even acknowledging the strength of Super Saiyan Blue nor Golden Frieza. If Super Saiyan Blue were to be stronger, that Toriyama's answer to question number 1 had to imply that the boost between God and Blue is minimal if at all. One of the reasons the entire debate between Blue and God even started. Just think about Goku and Vegeta ganging up on Bills. Did you believe at the time that the God of Destruction had a realistic chance against 2 Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? Especially if they fused? Regardless, let's assume that were the truth that Blue was just a different version of God. Why would it be smart to tap into Super Saiyan God's power instead of transforming into Super Saiyan God? For one, Goku and Vegeta mastered Super Saiyan. We have seen the entire point of Goku winning against the stronger Golden Frieza was simply because Goku is more experienced and got used to the form. Compare that to Super Saiyan God that disappeared in mere seconds. It was completely unreliable. So why did I bother explaining all this? Because Battle of Gods, Resurrection F and how Super Saiyan Blue is right and broke Dragon Ball Super's in-universe logic beyond repair. Because even if the things stated above were true, now they are not. 1. Super Saiyan Blue isn't Super Saiyan being used to tap into Super Saiyan God's power. It's a form beyond Super Saiyan God. 2. Super Saiyan Blue has apparently stamina issues. We aren't shown in the anime, but it was claimed. In the manga, it was confirmed. 3. The God forms are completely inconsistent. That means the following things are now valid criticism. Super Saiyan Blue is an unoriginal recolor of Super Saiyan. It's Super Saiyan, with blue hair. The official name. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan is such a dumb name, even the manga made fun of it. They changed it to Super Saiyan Blue, which makes it awkward considering the last thing you expect to be stronger than God is the color blue or rose. Super Saiyan Blue has stamina issues despite the entire point of the Golden Frieza arc being that Super Saiyan Blue preserves stamina. Vegeta lost to hit. Yes, he was hit in the vitals, but his reflexes should be countless times faster than base form Goku. Worse of all, Vegeta's body was clad with God Ki. If we use the stamina excuse, that means just turning SSJB once burns enough power to make you weaker than your base form. Then why did they spam Super Saiyan Blue in the Tournament of Power? Now Super Saiyan God is suddenly preserving more stamina, despite Battle of Gods establishing that Super Saiyan God has a strict time limit. And jumping between God and Blue somehow preserves stamina. But base to Blue doesn't, despite Vegeta turning blue just to punch Kaba once. An inconsistency both anime and manga kept. But despite having these insane stamina issues, Super Saiyan Blue can be staked up with Kaioken. A reasonable person would assume, oh yes, a perfect mean to completely destroy your body. But it's fine because Blue's perfect ki control helps. How? Yes, Blue doesn't preserve stamina, but has perfect ki control. That allows Super Saiyan Blue to be used against weaker opponents without killing them with your most powerful attack. I believe. Super never bothered to give the viewers an idea how these powers work. Perfect ki control has never shown any advantage, especially since Goku already had excellent ki control. It allowed him to prevent his stamina to be dropped quickly in battle. Anyone who watched the Cell Saga gets why Goku and Gohan mastered Super Saiyan first before properly surpassing the form. They progressed faster when training in Super Saiyan compared to training their base forms and focus on just getting stronger forms. A reason why Dragon Ball Super's base form training is flawed is because it plays to the misconception of how we thought the Saiyans get the most out of their forms, which would be training the weakest, and cash in on those sweet multipliers. This means perfect ki control is the next reason why Super Saiyan Blue sucks. It is a mean for fans to excuse why Android 17, Krillin or Gohan can keep up with Goku in Super Saiyan Blue despite him using moves like the Kamehameha. Transforming to his strongest form to hold back more power than his weakest. How realistic does that sound to you? Imagine Goku or Super Saiyan God from the Bills arc level like many believe. Would you believe any of these characters could rival base, Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Goku? Goku in base form would be stronger than Super Vegito from Z. Yet, Gohan training for one day with Piccolo of all people supposed to make him stronger than Tournament of Power arc base Goku? 17 beat up poachers to train. Would you believe he can defeat Super Saiyan Goku? Let alone block a blast from Blue without flinching? Female Broly walking through a Kamehameha from Super Saiyan Blue Goku? It's completely unrealistic. Speaking of unrealistic, the Potara timer. The blue forms consumes the fusion timer too, because stamina drain and Potara not being permanent weren't enough to nerf Vegito. They couldn't come up with an actual weakness for a Kaioken to exploit on a fused mortal. Next problem, Super Saiyan Blue is a form above Super Saiyan God. Yet, despite being a form stronger than God, Bills, who was hyped to see the original God form, looks down on it. No matter which medium you consume. In the Golden Frieza arc and movie, he didn't even acknowledge it. In the manga he squashed mastered Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He didn't consider Kaioken times 10 Blue Goku from the anime a threat. Remember, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta enraged impressed him enough to use 10% of his power? It could be a lie. But if it isn't, that means Blue Kaioken times 10 Goku post-Battle of Gods, meaning a Goku who apparently absorbed SSJG powers into his base form, making him in base as strong as God, is about equal or weaker than Super Saiyan 2 enraged Vegeta. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It gets worse and worse. God and Blue work as the writers feel at the moment. The top part tried to balance out God to make it somewhat worth using, despite creating unneeded inconsistencies and plot holes, but then introduce Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Berserker or Legendary Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Mastered Super Saiyan Blue. Two of which aren't even God forms, yet, are rivaling God forms for no reason honestly. The later two are a form above Blue with none of the stamina issues. There is also Ultra, it stinks. So why even go Super Saiyan God? By the way, characters using those forms are also still weaker than Bill's. The manga version of Super apparently has no perfect ki control from what I recall. Super Saiyan Blue's stamina issues is overcome with the illogical form switch. Mastered Blue is another method which Goku dropped after the Evil Goku arc. Just staying in Blue consumes a lot of ki and stamina, so forcing your aura inside you lets you fight at full strength. The problem is that it is insanely damaging, which in turn hurts stamina. Why isn't that form used over God and regular Blue? Toyota Uro and Toei staff waste so much time with pointless form circling, which means the Saiyans jump from one form to another in a succession like base to Super Saiyan, to Super Saiyan 2, to God to Blue. Most at the time for no logical reason. Apparently that was done in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which I didn't watch, where a Super Saiyan God lost and another Saiyan went Super Saiyan just because. There was no good reason for Vegeta to get Super Saiyan God. It only leads to another plot hole, because it requires 6 righteous Saiyans. The problem is, if he did the ritual, that would mean the ritual can be used multiple times. That means there is no excuse why we didn't get Super Saiyan God for Goten, Trunks, Gohan, future Trunks etc., including Caulifla, Cabba and female Broly, despite none of them deserving Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God for that matter. God forms were advertised as tranquil forms. But ever since Super came out, characters yell, get angry and aggressive like in any other fight. What is tranquil about it? Another thing I want to rant about is Super Saiyan Rose aka Pink Super Saiyan. It's another variation of Super Saiyan Blue. But it's pink. Why? Nobody knows. In the manga it's assumed that Zamasu has official god status. The plot hole here is that Goku has god status as well. He did the god ritual. He became the Super Saiyan God. But I think I know the reason why Evil Goku isn't blue but got his own original color. Originally Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan supposed to be white. But Toriyama already planned Goku to face merged Zamas who had a similar hair color. In other words, there would be a clash in colors. Which is why he went with blue instead. That means the only reason Pink Super Saiyan isn't blue, is simply because Toriyama didn't want to see 2 blue characters fight. As in powers, Super Saiyan Pink is less impressive than blue. Yes, Evil Goku beat the crap out of everyone, but he already clapped Vegeta and Trunks while in base form. In the manga, he got a Zenkai to make his Super Saiyan form stronger than Vegeta. Then transforming to pink gave us no idea on how he compares to Vegeta. In fact, he couldn't kill Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. He got clapped by God Blue Switch because Pink suffers from the same issues as Blue. Meaning if Zamas remained Super Saiyan, he would still clap God Blue Switch Vegeta because of the superior ki control. While in the anime, he got clapped by regular Blue Vegeta. He summoned a few clones that did nothing. It's insane. Super Saiyan Blue is a terrible form. Both in usage and design. Most of its problems have to do with other terribly designed Super Saiyan forms such as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Pink. There is no reason to have so many pointless forms. They are either never explained or the explanation make no sense. They exist only to sell toys. There is no real connection between God and Blue in terms of design like the classic SSJ forms. I recall people complaining Super Saiyan 4 not looking like a Super Saiyan form. Super Saiyan God is the last thing that has anything to do with Super Saiyan or Saiyan in general. And Blue, While it looks like a recolored Super Saiyan, has nothing to do with Super Saiyan God design-wise. Same goes for Super Saiyan Pink. Super Saiyan Blue evolution at least looks like Super Saiyan Blue. People justified those designs with shit like Super Saiyan God looks like Kaioken, a technique of the gods. Guess blue is a good design because it's blue like the Genkatama. And pink Super Saiyan is original because Majin Buu is pink and that relates to gods. Because he absorbed them. Oh right. That is the type of mental gymnastics I read. The last problem is how Super Saiyan Blue is spammed. The fandom believed the god forms to be more than they would end up to be. Saiyans are already broken. Every time a Super Saiyan gets on screen, you would expect shit to be real. That is why the transformation, despite having a lot of variation, appeared sparingly. But Dragon Ball Super didn't get the memo. Super Saiyan Blue, the strongest form at the time and a god one at that, was used against literal fodder. The overuse of the form and its win-lose ratio is making it less and less important. It's as if it's just a watered-down Super Saiyan. Compared to it, God was used more sparingly. But because the form is outclassed and had no purpose, it never appeared. There was no reason to use any Saiyan form but base, Super Saiyan, and Saiyan Blue. Now blue isn't even worth using itself. That's why it took me so long to rant about these forms. Where to start? Which is definitively the worst form? These questions are hard to answer. God and blue, and in association pink, are basically connected, and the reason why both are terrible and unoriginal. Stuff I saw on this website when reading Dragon Ball fanfiction or looked for AF content. And they aren't the only bad ones. Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Berserker from Heroes, Super Saiyan Berserk from Super Saiyan Blue Shinka, and even Ultra Instinct, but it will get to it soon enough. For the time, what do you think about Super Saiyan Blue? Do you think it's still an amazing form? Regardless, have a wonderful day.